Hello, today I will introduce how to use Microsoft Azure. And later I will try to show how to log in and how to apply an account. And actually for each student, we have about $200 in this account. Once you open the account, you can use that in 1 year. So basically, we will encourage every student to use Microsoft Azure. And why we choose Azure to study in this classroom? Because Microsoft Azure is one of the famous cloud service and AI service in this world. Of course, we have the other kind of platform, but each student can use that free. So we will use this in this course. So let's look at the interface. So basically, we can search Azure. Okay, this is a login interface. And if you are a student in NPTU, you may try to search. Microsoft account. Like this. Okay, you can use this. And also you can use the Office. Okay, so there is some introduction about that. And allow me to introduce, later I will try to use my account to demo this. All right, he will ask me if we want to decrease the login times. Yes. So now he is already logged in. And here is some resources. I try to show some of them. There are some resources that I already used. Maybe you used it before. So each time when you use one project, one resource, it can keep here. And also, if you want to delete that, you can just delete, erase this resource. And if you want to take a look at the other function, I suggest if you want to control the cost, you may use this. All right, here it will show the billing scope. So each month it will deliver to you to let you know how much you use. So in the teacher's account here, I use I need to pay the fee because I already running out the free account. So it will show like this. This is the invoice, the billing period from December 1 this year and later to December 31. The tax so far is about 60. That's in NT Taiwan dollar. And for this, because I use that from the past months, so I have some fee here. So you can see the invoices. So in this function, you can know and control and manage your billings. Okay, let's back previous slide. Okay, so if we want to try a new method. Maybe we can, a new example like the Azure machine learning, we can use this, and we can use some examples for this. So how about let's create a new resource. So in this course, I will try to introduce, later I will try to put it in two different phases. The left side could be your system or the reference material. Okay, so we will show the first example. So basically I will search like Microsoft Learn. Okay, change the language. Here you can change your language. For here I can choose the English, United States. Then you will change to English version. And if you browse here, you can show many different paths that for you to learning. Different modules, different paths, different courses. For example, you can choose .NET, Azure, Bing, Dynamic 365, HoloLens, Microsoft 365, Microsoft Copilot. And in this course, we focus on AI. So we can choose AI engineer. Otherwise, we can choose like data analysis or data engineering, data analysis something. And if this is the first time for your learning, you can choose beginner. So you will show like this. So for me, because I learned this course before, some of the course will be marked as complete. So they will not show again. But if you want to study from the beginning, I think this website is good for you. So we can introduce a little bit. So if you want to learn something, some example or some method, some modules, I suggest you can use the Microsoft Learn. All right, then I want to find Azure, just about Azure. And I want to learn something about the AI concept. I can choose this one. Okay, so it will tell you it might take 36 minutes and there are 10 units. So it is the beginner and is good for AI engineer, data scientist, student, AI boat service, AI machine learning. So you will introduce this following. So this is the this is the big module. There is some courses like Introduction to AI, Understand Machine Learning, Understand Computer Vision, Understand Natural Language Processing. Each unit is the other module. So in this material, it just try to talk a little introduction for them. And let's take a look at a little bit. For example, I enter the introduction to AI. It will show, you can know what we use. Maybe it can prove healthcare, enable people to overcome physical disadvantages. It also shows some videos in this. Let's take a look at this.
Artificial intelligence isn't coming, it's here. It's the defining technology of our time. But it's human ingenuity that makes it so powerful. Jean started losing her vision when she was 12. She uses Seed AI. Crouch down the stairs and out the door, which enables her. AI is changing every industry, from healthcare
And now you can see these finite details, the relationship between structures.
to engineering and telecommunications.
We are using artificial intelligence to change the way we are related to customers.
AI lets us put people first.
The Microsoft tools really enable us to breathe digital life into an iconic brand persona.
The product that we make is not a thing in a box. Microsoft AI empowers others to create experiences and potential. This is just the beginning.
Artificial intelligence has just opened up this whole world.
The future we invent is a choice we make.
Okay, so in Microsoft Learn, some courses content will provide this kind of video, and it will tell you is separate in this field. So they also introduce the key workloads, include machine learning, computer vision, natural language processing, document intelligence, knowledge mining, and generative AI. So in this course, we can introduce some of them, but it depending on the students' learning. If you can accept, we can continue more content. So after that, we can keep going to understand machine learning. All right, in machine learning, we can try to predict something, and this is a sustainable farming technology that is used for maximize food production while protecting a fragile environment. It's called Yacht. The Yacht is an agriculture technology company based in Australia. So in Australia, there are few people but very big land, so they have to use a lot of sensors and to collect data. And we try to use, and maybe we say Microsoft tried to use the machine learning technology to help the farmers and make very good decision related to weather, soil, planet conditions. Okay, so this is another video about them. I will skip that because I think some of you can study that by yourself. Because in this unit, I hope you can know we were using Azure, we were using Microsoft Learn. Okay, the last few minutes, I will back to Azure to keep going how to create resources. So we can use this, create resources here. Okay, basically from the left side, there are many categories. We can use AI plus machine learning. In this course, we will use this. And if you have want to learn something else, you can learn the others. So that's why I will recommend it you can use Azure, because this platform, this virtual service provide many things. All right. So you can also choose the other service very famous in this website. So you want to use maybe we can use the machine learning. Okay, you just type in and you will show some of that. I will choose this first, Azure Machine Learning. So we can create. All right, so the following we have to set some of the setting about how to use machine learning. So in the next video, we will introduce an example to let you know how we use Azure Machine Learning. We will take one example to let you know. Thank you. Not include them. For the next, we can have the other component like clean missing data. So let's take a look. Clean missing data. This time we try to using typing. Okay. Oh, this one. Oh, sorry. I should back to here, yes. Yeah, also connect them. Claim missing data. And we can double click and also edit column. Okay, double click, edit column. For the following in the column to be clean window, okay, column to be clean window. Here we include all column and save. And there are the other setting. For example, like the clean missing data component. Clean missing data component. Under cleaning mode, we find clean mode is here, and that's remove entire row. So we have a lot rules to delete or remove, but this time we choose remove entire row because sometimes the data, for example, one data have 24 columns, but if you lost some important columns, it cannot use. So we choose this remove entire row. Okay, then I think it should be done, I think. Okay, save. So we have 3. Yes, we have 3. Then we will have a training model. So we need to split the data. So this time we will split data, okay? Key in split data and search. Okay, split data. We also have to do the double click about the split data. So I will put this here and double click. It will show like this one. And I will set the fraction of row in the first output data set. Like this, fraction of row in the first data set is 0.7. Okay, 0.7 means split 70% of the training data and 30% for testing. For testing, okay. So yeah, I think it's done. Random speed. Okay. The next one, we will use the linear regression. So we search for that linear regression. Okay, this one, linear regression. Okay, you might ask me why I put here. Okay, if you are beginner, yes, you don't know how to put that. I don't know. I just put it here. Okay, later we will know. Then drag, drop here, canvas. Okay, and we have to find a training model. Okay, train model. Yes, here is the train model. All right, so the right side is the data set, so you just put here. And this side is untrained model. Yes, connect train model. So that's why I put the linear regression, just the left side of split data. That's why I put that. So yes, I'm not a beginner, so I know. But when you did that a lot of times, then you will know how to put that. Okay, then we will train the model. So you see the same figure, split linear regression, and then they will connect together to train model. Okay, then in the train model, you need to double click, open the detail panel, and edit columns. Okay, double click, label, and this label name, we can select. It is the column name, and we can type something in. And this time, type PRICE. Please be careful about this, because if you type it wrong, it will not work. PRICE, definitely not wrong, please. Okay, then we will have something like this one. Yes, good. And then we will have a score model. Okay, this score model, put in train model, and this time we also have the split from this. Remember, there are all the data in split, and we have 70% in and 30% here. We put in data set. And then we add an evaluate model. Okay, evaluate model, put like this way, and connect. So we have something like this, very similar. Okay, then we can submit, configure and submit. Okay, so this time I open it, configure and submit. We don't have that, so we need to create a new name. 1212 automobile. And then I submit. All right, there is something wrong. Don't worry, because we need to set the compute cluster, but we don't have, so we need to create. So we choose select the delegate CPU, select recommended. So we can choose this one. So it have cost, like this cost is 0.38 per hour. We have 10 cores, and we have the data set 1 to 10 GB. Yes, I think we can do that. And we have 32 GB RAM. Yes, 4 cores. Okay. Next one, compute name 1212. Okay, start with that regulation. Create. It is still under construction until it turns to green. It should succeed, and then we choose. And this time, review and submit. Click and submit. Okay, it started to running. Succeed for the pipeline job. And then you will keep running until you succeed. You will tell us. So how we know it succeed? You can click the view details. We wait a little bit. Okay, so here you can see it's still running. So you are running from the data to select columns in data set. And later when it complete, you will show green, and you will go next and go next. So I just put here. You can take a look of the figure. Actually, it will take a little time, I think. So if you complete and if you practice the course not only by yourself, if you have classmates, if you have your friends to work together, you can share this to him, to her, and also discuss how you complete that. Because sometimes when we do this kind of experiment, we need to cooperate together. All right? So I think this video will be cut here, and I think, okay, I think we keep going on, and later I will put it into video because the video is too long. So we wait for the running. And later, when all things complete, I will show for the final evaluate model, this one. Because I mentioned in the previous videos, if we make a model, how I evaluate the model is good or not good. Basically, we will check that on this evaluate model. So if the model, the determination is pretty high, that prediction may be from 0 to 1. Maybe I can say from 0% to 100%. So this evaluate model could maybe 70. 70 is not really good. 80, not really very, very good. But if you can reach to 90 or 95, then that's good. Okay, so many examples when you put in this like regression model training using Azure, you can try to take a look. After it complete, check out the evaluation result. You will know. So later the video, at the end of the video, we will show what's the succeed, what's it is how to evaluate that's good or not. The other issue is you might ask me how much time it takes. It depending on the classroom network, and sometimes if you practice at home, that concerning about the network in your house, in your place. So sometimes your network is using the cellular phone network, so it depending on the ISP service, the network service. So sometimes we will wait. And the other issue, the other reason is we use Japan West, the region. So when your region is select pretty far, like I'm in Taiwan, but you select a place very far, and the distance too far, the network service were not very good. So this could be one issue. Okay, so later we will wait a little bit about this. And I think I will cut the video, and then later I will show the final prediction and final one and try to describe. So later I will try to describe again. Hello everyone. We already complete the Azure Designer, and it already done everything. We'll just preview, explain a little bit about this from the data, and then select columns in data set. And then there is some clean missing data. And we will have a link to here. We need to split the data. So split means we will split 70% to here, and the other 30% to the here. Okay, 70% using the training model, and what kind of algorithm we will use. We select this linear regression. So training. After the training, we can do the score model, comparing to using the 30% data to do the testing to make a score model. And finally, we have the evaluation here. So we can click on the right click. We can preview the data. And let's take a look of each of this. As we described in the previous video, we have 5 different kind of index try to explain the model is good or not. For example, like mean absolute error, root mean squared error, relative squared error, relative absolute error, and coefficient of determination. Some students will ask me, what will you explain? If you have time, I think you can try to understand the error description about that. If you want to know exactly the whole determination is good or not, I think we can reference this one. So this time, the coefficient of determination, the value is 86%. So you might, you can image that it is 86%. We call that the model is not bad, but not very well. So sometimes we can, again, to modify the model. Okay, but I think it will be the first example that you try Microsoft Azure. Okay, so I think you can reference this video and try to make your model by yourself using the automobile example. Okay, I think I just mentioned here. Hello guys, we will introduce the regression model, and this time we will use Microsoft Azure. So this is the material that from Microsoft Learn website, and you can find this title and try to search that on Google, and so you can link to this website. I suggest maybe if you can use, when you learn, you can use 2 monitors. One for material, the other for the system. Otherwise, if you have one video, only one monitor, you can, for the left side to the left to right, you can put this different side. So later I will try to use this way. Okay, as I mentioned, I put material this, and for the right, I can use this. So when you create, you can have different parts and try to understand what they use. So first I create a new pipeline. Okay, so before that, for the right side, we have to create a result. Okay, I back to the beginning of the homepage of this Azure. So I can create a new pipeline, but this time I need to create a new one. So I will using Azure Machine Learning. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, create Azure Machine Learning pipeline. So I use this first. So before I use that, I need to Azure Machine Learning workspace. Okay, you need to have a space. So we create a workspace first, and then here is the Azure subscription 1. If you are a student, you don't need to choose this because I am not a student. I'm a teacher, and also I already running out of the $200 US. So I need to using the credit card to pay this. Okay, so I use the subscription 1. And later I give the name of the resource group. You can have your name. For me, I will date is using the date. Like today is December 12th, and so I put this. Oh, I need create one. Okay. I name is December 12 regression. and the name. Using automobile for the region. Because Azure is a cloud service, so they put a lot of Azure service in different places, different regions. So you can try to choose one. For me, I try to choose maybe just Japan West. Okay, the other you will create. Otherwise, you can create new. So when I set it done, I will review and create. Okay, for the following, you can see, we can follow it. Provide the work with all artifacts you create in Azure Machine Learning. Okay, if you are not understand, you can click here, create workspace resources. That is what I just demoed. Okay, create. It could be very fast, and sometimes it will take time. So when you do this kind of experiment, make sure your network is good. Okay, the validation is passed. Then I create. So there is a resource created in Japan West, and the deploy is in progress. We have to wait it done. So now it's progressing. And I ever mentioned about why we choose Azure. It also because Azure is used by many companies in the world. So when you are a student, you can learn Azure first. If you don't like Microsoft, actually you can find the other resources that also teaching about AI or machine learning. You can use that. Okay, so don't worry. There are many resources you can use in the internet. Okay, X deployment is succeed. Then we will go to the resource. All right, done. So I will launch the studio. Here is launch studio. Okay, then this interface it shows many different service or modules he already made. But today we want to try automobile regulation example, so later we will try this first. So I will use this new component or something, new pipeline, right? Let's take a look. Okay, create pipeline. Yes, create pipeline. Oh, for me, I assume likely. Everyone's different. You can choose. You can do that by your way. All right, here is a create new pipeline using classical build. Otherwise, you can do that by yourself. Okay, here. You see this is the sign. Design is the same. This plus is this signal plus. A classical predict, classical pre-built. But something different here. This part is different, so you can open this. Now it's the same. It put the designer, right? So we try to find the designer is here. Yes, so that's the same. It already the same. So you can follow the website step by step to build your model. Okay, so I choose this one, plus. Okay, so the left side is material, the right side is system. And you have here, the right side of this is the interface that you can drag and drop to draw a model. for this part is we can have some component. Like later we will use the algorithm. Algorithm belong to the component. And also like the clean data, it also belong to the component. And we also have some data, the already embedded in Azure. Okay, so let's go on. So for this, in this tutorial, we use automobile price. So we will use the sample data. So we try to find one. Sample data here. Okay, we have lot. And this time we choose auto price data row. I think it should be here. Automobile price data. You can just drag here and drop. And here will be here. And this is our data, raw data here. So if you want to make a check, you can keep following the visualization, visualize the data to take a look. Okay, how to take a look? You can use that. Right click. You can preview data. Okay, I maximize that, let you see clear. So this is the way we look. Try to image if you have a car. You drive a car, and this car, it have the like the make. Who make this? For example, Audi. For example, BMW. And if you are not familiar, you can find one that you are familiar. Or like Honda, like Isuzu, like Jaguar, like Mazda, okay? And for the next one is fuel type. You use gas, or you use gasoline or something. And the number of doors, 2, 4, and the body of style, okay, you will show everything. So how many attributes? Here, the column is 26. We have 26 columns, and how many data? We have 205 data. So what we want to predict in this regulation, we want to predict the price. This is why that we want to predict. And we have the other 25 columns. Okay, the other 25 columns we can select, we can use in the training model. All right, then I minimize this to probably right. And I close that. Okay. So I do modification a little bit for the right side. Okay, so I have make it bigger. All right, we have the data, and what's next one? Take a look. We need to prepare the data. Okay, before prepare it, how we use? We can use the normalized losses column. And if you find something loose, it could be mean something missing, any values. Maybe there are a lot of values that's missing. Okay, so in the data set of component, we can from the left side to select columns in data set. Select column in data set, we try to find one. So this time you can just copy and put here, paste, and you will find one. Let's take a look, select column, data set. Yeah, it's exactly this one. Select column, data set. So we have two columns, we have two components. One is data, and the other is select columns in data set. How to use that? Just try to connect them together. Yeah, connect them together. Okay, so let's keep going on next. like this example, we connect together. Okay, so till now, I think you can do this very well. And then we can double click the select columns. Okay, double click, and we will come to the select column data set. There are some settings you need to modify. Okay, how we modify? See the edit column to the right of the panel. Here is the edit column here, and we can use many, but here is column name. So how we can use? We can include and select all columns. All columns. Yeah. And we through, let's take a look. Edit, column, include all column. Yeah. Oh, it seems something a little different here. We need to add the other one. Exclude column name. Here, please enter normalize losses. Normalize losses. Enter here. You just copy and paste. And then we can save. So we can have all the columns and exclude columns name that is normalized losses. Normally we'll lose some columns, it will missing something, then we will not include them. For the next, we can have the other component like clean missing data. So let's take a look. Clean missing data. This time we try to using typing. Okay. Oh, this one. Oh, sorry. I should back to here. Yes. Yeah, also connect them. Claim missing data. Hello. This video we will try to use, also we have a raw data. And this time, we say that machine learning is separated into unsupervised and supervised. And we just have one video talking about automobile device, automobile price prediction. And this time, the example is using for clustering, because we mentioned that unsupervised is no obvious why. We don't know exactly how many clustering is. So here is the raw data, we call that penguin.csv. So if you are interested, you can search it under Google. You can find the penguin CSV. And this time we also use Microsoft Azure to find it out to do the clustering. Okay. Okay, this is the penguin CSV. And you can just copy, or you want to just download. It's okay. I think I can just copy. So after copy, you can use the, let me check. Actually, you can use Excel or the Notepad, N-O-T-E. Notes, okay, I can use this. And we can paste. Oh, okay. And we save. This should be order file, and I put it on the desktop, and I also call it Penguin. .csv. CSV means common separate file. Okay. All right, saved. Yeah, and this time I will try to using. Yeah, I also need to use a pipeline or designer something. Okay, designer. A new one. Some people might curious about, yes, we have different kind. Yes, if you are interested, you can try different kind of this, like image classification using DenseNet, binary classification using the different model, wide and deep based recommendation, the restaurant, good, bad, or something, and this is the regulation. Okay, we have different, the Azure will provide different kinds of this. All right, so this time I try to use the pipeline, a new one. And if you have your data, okay, if you have your data, maybe we can try to add your data in. Okay, I will use the plus. Click the plus, and we can input the Penguin. The data set, I didn't provide any data set description, and for the type is tabular, nest, and we can from local files, nest, and here it already have the workspace model here. We just select one and nest, and we can upload the file. So I choose the desktop one and the penguins and open. So here we have the penguin CSV nest. This is also one way. If you have your own data, you can try to use this to import your data in Azure model. So when you input the data, the raw data, you will show the column length, column depth, flipper length, body mass, species. All right. Actually, you say that which kind of prediction. Mostly we were using species to predict. And also we have different columns of penguin. I will encourage everyone, because we play a role of data scientist, or we will touch different enterprise, the raw data or open data from any enterprise. Sometimes it's very important to understand different field, because in each specific field, the data is very different. And also, I think it's also very interesting. So sometimes I will encourage you, try to search each one column, try to understand what penguins data column meaning is. Okay, I try to show a little bit. Like if I'm curious about column length, I just search on Google. You can just paste, search. All right, it will show. Okay, you can imagine this is a penguin, penguin's head, and this is column length. Maybe you can say this is the mouth of a bird. Okay, and this is column depth, the mouth depth. Okay, so the two the two columns is also the first one, column length, column depth. All right, we try to understand the third one, flipper length. Yeah, it's very cute. All right, this is a penguin. So flipper means like the wing of the bird. So this is the flipper lens, the flipper lens. Okay, this is the third column name. For the last one column name is body mass. This is body mass. Okay, we also copy paste. Oh, okay. If you know what is body mass index, we call that BMI. I think you understand what is BMI, so I don't need to add more description about that. From the 4 data column, we can know the species because it already know that. Okay, next. And if we didn't modify anything, then next and create. So now you have your own data in the Azure. You can just upload inside. I can put here, and you can try to edit everything. So if you are familiar with the previous video, you know how to use that. So you can keep going on to use. So if you forgot, if you really forgot, okay? Actually, I still leave some window about the previous one. I will have actually I will copy or just cut an image like this one, because this is easy to understand how we build a model and how we can do the classification. You can use almost the same model of this. So this time, how about I try to use this? Like the left side use this. The previous model I can reference. Maybe just a small graph here is okay. Then we try to use this. Okay, penguin, my data, and I need select column. So find the select column. Select column in data set, search. Well, I think something, okay, basically should be in the model. Yeah, a little weird. I don't know how it cannot change that. Okay, how about we try to back this model, original model. Actually, we can directly to change that. So I back to home, and in the designer, we already have one. It's about today, 5 o'clock. We have something, and I take a look what that is. This is penguin. How about this one? Okay, this original one. If you already have original one, you can just change that. I delete. And I try to put my penguin in and connect. And remember, you can also do some modification, but this time I didn't modify anything. For this claim missing data, I think it's the same. For split data, it's the same. And for training, yes, I need to modify because I cannot predict price. Okay, then what I should predict? Species. Okay, if you forgot how to spell that, you may take a look. Species. All right, I take a preview data. Okay, species, I just copy. And try to paste. For the designer, here, species, and save. All right, but this time we will not use linear regression, so I delete that. So what should I use? Because I want to do the cluster. So I'm using cluster to find. Okay, well, I have something to do the cluster. I will choose k-means clustering and put it in the model because that's the algorithm I want to use is k-means. And then I can try to evaluate. All right, we can try to do the configure and submit. Enter the name. Penguin. Submit. All right, so this is a model that I changed penguin, and I changed the algorithm. I also changed the train model, and then later it will run. So let's take a look for the detail. It already submitted out, and then later it will running. As we mentioned, this is the status shows he's still running, and later he will become green. That means he passed this. And then finally, he will pass to the end of the evaluation model. We will know if the model, the training model is good or not good from here. Okay, so I will use some time to run in the model, and later I will tell you the results. Hello everyone, and for this video I will introduce about fundamental of machine learning, and we will introduce some very basic concept about that. So this time we use Microsoft Learn. That's we mentioned about the first video that Microsoft Learn provides English version material, and also they provided some example that we can use in Microsoft Azure platform. All right, so let's take a look at this material. So in this material, it will announce about the learning objectives that if you complete all the module, you can you can describe the core concept of machine learning, and also you will know different types of machine learning. And even that you can training, evaluation about machine learning models. So I think it's very simple. For me, I think it's very simple. I hope all of you can try to learn this. Okay, so it have some of the concept like introduction. Let's take a look. In 1 minute, you can take through it. And we will call this, there are some two very important disciplines, data science and software engineering. And the goal of machine learning is to use data to create, we will have a model, and we hope you can try to predict the model to use in some cases. In cooperate with Azure, we can put it like an application or service. Okay, so each time when we do the prediction, we have to prepare the data before we use that. And the data will separate it, one for training, we need to train the model, and one for testing to predict the model. Okay, so one for training and one for predict. Okay, so later we were using the Microsoft Azure machine learning to train it. And this time we do the train. We did not really to demonstrate the deployment process because the time limitation. Okay, so let's take a look at what is machine learning. I will skip some important part. I will try to describe some of the image. Okay, for this image, we can have the left side is the first step. First step, we have the data. So it's very important we collect the data from maybe the open source website like the Cargo, or some website that people put the training data on that. So we can do we can adopt using the data set to this experiment. Okay, so you can see this is X part. We may have X1, 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 X2, X3. So many different data inside. So we have many columns of X. And then we have some column. This column is only one column that we want to predict. Okay, we call that is Y. And then actually we can make a training set, and we can try to maybe write a graph, a chart, using different kind of formula to make it. So after that, we can have a formula, and this formula can make like a machine learning model. And then we can we train the model well, and using the data, try to predict, using this model to predict Y. So that's what we do, the training and inferencing here, inferencing, okay. So as we mentioned here is the data. We may have a lot. So it's just try to describe. We have different kind of columns, different kind of data, try to describe something, some event, some process, and we hope to predict the Y. Okay, so let's take a look at, actually there are many types of machine learning. So how many types and what they separated? Okay. Here, machine learning is separated in two categories. One is supervised machine learning. The other is unsupervised machine learning. What's the difference? Take a look at this. We had many columns, S1, S2, S3. We try to predict Y. So it obviously we have Y. We know what to predict. Okay, so we call this is belong to supervised machine learning. A look at the other side is unsupervised machine learning. We just have the data set, X1, X2, S3 maybe, but we don't know what to predict. So it didn't have very obvious Y. So we need to do another thing to do the unsupervised machine learning. So let's look at deeper. Here, we call the method is regression. For example, like this figure, depending on the weather, the temperature, and the date, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe that's a holiday. Okay, maybe the temperature is pretty high, pretty low, and even we could have the wind. Is windy day, is cloudy day or something, and what's the relations to affect to the sale money of the ice cream. So depending on this data, we can predict this one. The ice cream number, the ice cream, you can make how much money is. Okay. The other one is classification. We're using the classification means we can separate it different kinds. For example, if we want to have this one is binary classification. Binary means we just have two categories, yes, no, 0, 1. For example, if we are in like the hospital or medical cases, we have the blood, we have your maybe the body condition something, we can predict if you have this disease or not, if you have tumor or not, if the tumor is good or not. Okay, so this binary classification. The other part is the second part is multi-class classification. So that means the predict Y not only have 2, we might have 3 or more than 2. Okay, so this is multi-classification. So let's take a deeper side on unsupervised machine learning is clustering. As we mentioned, unsupervised machine learning is there is no obvious Y, no obvious objective that we can predict. We don't know how many categories. We don't know how many categories here. We don't know the answer. But you can provide the data, give the data like the flower, the length of the flower, attribute, maybe the color of the flower, maybe something you put in, it can separate it in different clustering. Okay, so we call this clustering. So this is many common types of machine learning. All right, so we mentioned that like regression is belong to supervised learning, machine learning, classification, and classification is divided into binary classification, multi-class classification, and in unsupervised machine learning, we have clustering. Okay, so the next one we will introduce about regulation. So here we take a look at the regulation. I hope we can have some example for them. Okay, here this figure, I think is also very important. Later we, maybe in the next video, okay, we will have this data set and we will separate it into different parts, 2 parts. One is training set, one is test set. Okay, one for training, one for testing. Who will be training this part? Okay, this part for training, and you will have a model, have the formula, and then he can guess is correct or not. He can predict it. Okay, for the others, this part is test set. We're using this set to test the model is correct or not correct. So at the end, we can know the model, evaluated model is good or not good. Okay, then it will back. We can do something to modify and to maybe just try to fix some or change some attribute or maybe clean the data and delete some data maybe. And it can be a good model for training. Okay, it will be good model in machine learning. Okay, so we call that a split, the training data, and we do this method randomly to create the data which were to training the model, and also the subset of that will evaluate the training model. Okay. and we will use one kind of algorithm to fit the training data to a model. Okay, so in this part is about regression model. Okay, so there are many regression algorithms. We can explain the very basic one is about like linear regression. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. This is the temperature. The right side is Y. Y is the ice cream sales. How many ice creams we can sell? Like the temperature is 51, we sell 1. 52, we sell 0. But when the temperature is 67, we sell 14 ice creams. Okay, so we have this data set. We can training a regression model. Okay, so using this, we can have this kind of figure, and we can have some formula. Using this, apply the operation 2x to calculate y. For example, like this. We call this kind of regression is linear regression. So mostly this kind of linear regression algorithm is suitable for like the price prediction, like the house price prediction, like how automobile prediction, ice cream prediction, like that. Okay, so we can try to do the model, and sometimes we can guess right. Sometimes we can predict it right, like actual sales and predict sales. Maybe not very accurately, but not far away. Okay, in 14, we predict that is 17. The actual sales is 23, then it's 20. Okay, so we can have this kind of model to predict. And this model is not far away to the actual sales. Okay, so sometimes we can evaluate the model. So here, we can have common metrics that are used to evaluate a regression model. So sometimes we can use this is mean absolute error, MAE, and it can have the like, for example, -3 and +3. It both indicate a variance of 3. So we have different kinds. So we have MSE, mean square error. We have root mean squared error, RMSE. We have coefficient of determination. Later we will use this as a reference to on the example. So we have the iterative training, and until we get a very good regression. Okay, so this video we're talking about is linear regression. So next video we will introduce an example in linear regression. Thank you.